Hey gang, I'm in Dallas, just arrived last night, and the cemetery I'm at is called Restland Memorial Park. I want to thank Don, who is one of our viewers, for the heads up on this story. It really set me off when I heard it, and the main reason I want to tell this story is to get the word out because the perpetrators have not been caught. It's been a long time, and I'm going to give you a warning. This is really gruesome. It's sick. It involves necrophilia, probably grave robbing. So turn it off right now if you don't want to watch that. If you've got a soft heart for that kind of thing, totally understand. And I will not feel bad if you do not watch this episode. But I want to get the word on this. So let's take a walk and let's talk about this story here in Dallas. There's a couple of stories actually that relate to this subject. We've talked about this subject before, but either the culprits have been caught or, well, actually the older stories relate to grave robbing for other purposes like medical science, but this is the first one that I heard about where the people so far have gotten away with it, or the person, and it's probably people, sick people, guys. It was back in October in 1994, and her name was Melinda Ann Lee. She was critically injured in a car crash by a drunk driver. She was only 20 years old. She was a junior honor student at Texas Tech. And she lingered for a while, but on December 7th in the Lubbock Hospital, she had spent her last 54 days there fighting for her life. Now on December 10th, she was buried right here at Restland Memorial Park. And then the unthinkable happened. A cemetery worker came along in his car and he came upon her grave and it didn't look right. It's a huge pile of dirt on the side. Well, he discovered that something nefarious was afoot, and when he looked down, he was horrified. He called the police, and it had appeared that someone had burrowed down 6 feet to her vault. A vault, like typically, they are made of concrete. They drilled a hole through the 4-inch vault, the top of it, right down into the casket, and they broke a hole through the top of the casket. And there they removed Melinda's body. And we could only imagine how. We don't want to imagine how. The police said it would have taken at least 6 hours to get a job like this done, depending how many people were involved. You have to imagine. I really don't have words when I try to imagine. And you can imagine, try to imagine the family and the horror, the mom and dad, the family, when they were told about this. Maybe they weren't told originally, but I can tell you this, 5 days later, she was found. Her body was found dumped on a secluded road right around here. What do you say? There's nothing to say. She was reburied here with 4 members of her family present and the priest. They had a 15-minute service. It was not the original grave. They buried her somewhere else here, and you can't blame them. And by the way, all of this information is public information that I'm sharing. Well, I wanted to personally come and pay respects, but we are not going to show her grave. because it is my understanding that the family does not want the exact location to be revealed, so we're going to respect that. You know, guys, this isn't the only time this has happened here. There's another story where another body was taken from the funeral home, and all you funeral home folks tell me in comments, but I've heard that you've got to man the ship overnight. You can't leave the funeral home because people will steal the bodies. And I just can't believe it, but guys, it's true. Many of you know this. So chime in, let me know if that's really true. But there was another woman, a young woman, who was stolen, and it may be for different reasons why she was taken. 25-year-old woman named Julie Mott from San Antonio. She had died from cystic fibrosis in 1989. They had her funeral on August 15th, and her body was stolen from the funeral home 2 days later. Now, she was to be cremated, so it may be that they're thinking someone didn't want her cremated. Hopefully, not for other reasons, like what probably happened here, but nonetheless, her body has never been found. So, I guess, you know, in conclusion, I want to say to everybody that's watching this, if you've made it through this story, which I can barely tell it, this is, of everything I've done so far, this is the worst. But the reason I'm doing it is I'm going to put the phone numbers in, the police department, Crime Stoppers, all of that, in the description box. Scroll down. If anybody knows anything, this is a public service video, if you will, to try. I want to see those people caught. Any of those cases, especially this one. And you know, people brag. Loose lips sink ships. And after all this time, there's a possibility that somebody that knows will have the common decency to give the police a tip, please. Otherwise, you're going to go to your grave. You're going to go to your grave with this on your conscience, that you heard about this story. Well, wherever you are here, Melinda, and also Julie, rest in peace.